Alright, so today I'm back with another Blue Lock League video, and today we will go over chapter 301. Now this chapter was a mix of wholesome, but also sad, as we see Kaiser and Ness argue before the Blue Lock players go to celebrate. But I don't want to say too much, so you will just have to sit back and watch to find out what happens. Anyway, before jumping into it, please leave a like and a comment, as well as join the Discord server. And with that out of the way, let's get into it. Also, if you want to check out the leaks for yourself, then I will put a link down in the comments where you can look at them. So we start this chapter off with the text saying, "The Neo-Egoist League is over." That last goal changed the lives of Kaiser and Ness. And then we get into it by seeing everyone leaving the pitch. We see the Masters leaving, and even Chris Prince and Lavinho looking pretty friendly with each other, before we get to Kaiser, who's also beginning to walk when he suddenly stops and looks back. There we can see Ness following Kaiser closely, and Kaiser asks Ness why he's following him. We then get a close-up of Ness, who just looks super sad. Kaiser then goes with his normal main character thing by putting his hand against his face and telling Ness that this is enough. Telling Ness that the Kaiser that he believed in was just an illusion and that in reality, Kaiser is trash. Ending it by saying that both of them are broken and encouraging him to get lost. Ness looks at Kaiser with a dead expression as he looks completely gone. However, he tells Kaiser that he won't listen and that he will still be by Kaiser's side. This only makes Kaiser super furious, as we can see his eyes beginning to twitch, and then screams towards Ness and asks him if he is good in the head. He tells Ness that he threw him away for the sake of victory, and yet he lost to ISAGI in the end. Hearing this only makes Ness sadder than he already was. However, it's still far from over, as Kaiser begins to scream even louder and tells Ness that he himself is a piece of shit, humiliating the world with his existence, and once again tells Ness to stop clinging to a piece of shit like himself. When Kaiser has finished, Ness just responds with a simple no, which leaves Kaiser stunned. Ness then continues and says that he won't do as he is told anymore, telling Kaiser that he isn't a piece of shit, but that he is a flesh and blood human being. Kaiser looks disgusted as he is hearing this. However, Ness's eyes just start to light up, and they burn with an insane determination. As with his ego, he will cast a spell on Kaiser's broken self, and not going to lie, this is going to be so cool to see that Ness is going to revive Kaiser. Anyway, under them, we have more of the offers. But this is for the players outside of Blue Lock, so we can see that Kaiser got an offer of 400 million from Real. Meanwhile, Lorenzo got a 280 million offer from Ubers, Ness got a 130 million offer from Bastard Munchen, Charles got himself a 110 million offer from PXG, and Aggie got an 80 million offer from Manshine City. Anyway, we then get back to the Blue Lock players, and the commentator speaks up and says that the 23 players who survived the Neo-Egoist League should go and have some rest in their stratums. He then follows that up by telling them that the next itinerary will be tomorrow at 9 AM and telling them to please wear designated suits and get on the shuttle bus. And I guess that we just fast forward to that right away as we see them on the bus. We get to Bachira, who says that this might be his first time wearing such a fancy suit. Nanase agrees and then asks Hiyori if he's tied his necktie okay, but Hiyori tells him that it's totally wrong and tells him that he will do it for him. Baru then asks why the windows are dark and that he can't see anything. We then have Otoya, who says a millionaire, which I don't know if he's referring to the offer or what he is doing. However, Zantetsu adds in by saying yes, yes, and that it's free. Karasu then looks annoyed and just asks them where they are going. Sendao, on the other hand, looks hyped as he thinks that it might be a meeting with journalists, or maybe even a live stream. Ryu looks a bit worried and wonders if this will be his debut in the spotlight, and Nico just says that he's stressed. Rin then finally says something, but he just says that they are all so loud, and we also see Ryo sitting by himself quietly by the side. We then get to the main man, Isagi, who thinks back to himself telling Nagi not to quit soccer. He says that it was all that he could say, and he wonders what Ryo is thinking of right now, and admits that he still can't get his head around all of this. But then suddenly, the announcer says that they have arrived. Hey, it's Natsu, mid-editing here, and I just wanted to pause the video to ask you to subscribe if you haven't already, and while you are already down there, why not leave a like as well? Chigiri looks surprised. Meanwhile, Zantetsu says that he wanted to get off at the next stop, which is just strange. Bachira, on the other hand, is ecstatic and asks them where they are and what they are going to do. But then the announcer starts to speak up again, and he says that right now, Blue Lock and those 23 who survived the Neo-Egoist League will hold a victory parade in Roppongi. And as the windows go from dark to clear, the Blue Lock players can see a ton of people being outside of the bus celebrating them. Bachira can't believe that so many people have come to watch them. Chigiri is also insanely mind blown and wonders if they really are stars now. Isagi's eyes just get huge as he can't believe any of it. All of them then go up to the roof of the bus, and Bachira and Sendu are so hyped to see everyone. Otoya, on the other hand, just gets recognized by a lot of women, and he asks if they want to jump into the bus. But Karasu quickly grabs him away and tells him that it's no good and calls him an idiot. Hiyori looks like he has stars in his eyes as he is surprised by this huge event. Yukimiya just says that this is the true influence of the Blue Lock TV. We then get back to the boy Bachira, who says that this feels so good and says that he loves everyone there who's supporting them. Chigiri looks over to Kunigami and tells him that they should at least wave to them, but Kunigami refuses, trying to get all edgy and nonchalant. We then see Sendu, who tries to get everyone there to follow his Instagram, but Aiku comes in his way and grabs him away and calls him an idiot. Isagi, on the other hand, just looks out at everyone and is in shock, as he can only describe this as truly amazing. He looks out and the whole crowd is screaming his name. Isagi can't believe it and says that they were able to cause such enthusiasm. His eyes get big and he says that this is sport and that this is true entertainment, calling it the power of football and saying that it feels so good. But he also admits that it feels scary, as he says that one can become a hero with a single blow and fall just as easily, calling it a world of all the best and the worst outcomes, which is exactly why he thinks that he can't get satisfied until the moment he becomes the best in the world. As he says that, his eyes start to light up with an insane fire, and he throws a fist bump out towards the crowd, thinking of the World Cup, and says that he will go beyond this scenery and that he won't go back to the world without football. And just like that, we go over to Nagi, who says that he's home. He grabs his plant and says that just like Choki, he didn't change and that he just came back to his ordinary life. We then see him throwing his backpack down and looking extremely sad, but we then see the text saying that it's 50 days left to the U20 World Cup, which is insane. Now for some news. We have no break next week, which is massive, and the next chapter will be called That's Enough or I'm Done, which I'm probably referring to Nagi, but is he really done though? I feel like that's something that we will truly never know until he maybe comes back or just retires for good, but that's something we will have to wait and see. Now in this chapter, I felt like Kaiser was trying to make Ness leave him so that Ness could have the best chance to evolve on his own, and I don't think that it was because Kaiser just wanted Ness gone. I feel like the loss against Isagi really dug deep in Kaiser, which is why I'm excited to see what Ness has in mind and what he will do to fire up Kaiser now that he's determined to stay with him. Now the offer was pretty interesting. I'm kind of surprised about Agi's offer though. Now I know that he hasn't done anything, but still 80 million seems pretty wild. But in theory, it makes sense. It just seems so low, and Kaiser getting a 100 million increase from his earlier 300 million offer is pretty huge. But I'm wondering if he really will go to real or not, now that Ness wants to evolve together. Please let me know what you think Kaiser will do and what you thought about this chapter. Anyway, if you like Blue Lock and videos like this, then I would highly suggest you subscribe to this channel. And while you are at it, leave a comment and a like, as it helps out with the algorithm a ton. And if you are curious to see another video of mine, then please watch the video that will be popping up on the screen now. Anyway, thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye.